Hello and welcome back to episode 32 of the Shakhtar Galore challenge, here with Shakhtar Donetsk in the Ukraine. Last time out, obviously, we had I say epic, more nail-biting first knockout round game against PSG in the Champions League. The first knockout round. Obviously, we had a 3-0 lead from our first leg at home to take to their ground, Parc de Princes, I think they play at. Again, probably slaughtered the pronunciation of that. But we lost 3-0 in that game, and it took the game to extra time and ended up going to penalties, which we were victorious. And if you didn't see that episode, I urge you to go back and check it, because I mean, the first half, I'm not gonna lie, was fairly drab, but the second half was just a relentless onslaught by PSG chasing that result, and we managed to just shut up the shop enough and do the job enough just to get ourselves through and somehow scrape by on penalties, and we seemed to almost try and throw that away as well. So absolutely chuffed to be there. We did say we'd come back obviously for the next game, the league game in 3 days against Desna, which we will be doing, but the Champions League quarter-final draw has actually sprung up literally 2 days after that PSG game and the day before the league game. So I thought we'd just jump straight into that now and see who will probably be knocking us out of the quarterfinals, because like looking at some of those teams there, I'm not sure we're quite there. I don't think we can get Porto from our group just yet, and I think maybe at the quarters even you can't get anyone from your country, but obviously we haven't got to worry about that too much because, well, there's no one there from the Ukraine. So let's get into this draw. I think this is just a fairly open draw now. I don't think there's any seeds or anything like that. So Juventus come out first. There you go, FC Porto. So looking at that now, obviously Napoli dispatched Manchester City. They're second in Serie A. Bayern, I imagine, are top. Yep. Man United 4th. Real Madrid 7th. Wow. I think we did have a little brief look at this before. Obviously Barcelona 2nd there, who are also in the pot. But Atletico Madrid are flying. Well, they're 6 points clear of Barca, and a further 2 ahead of the pack, and then behind. I mean, Real Madrid aren't just 7th; they are a long way back 7th. That is, who's their manager? Zinedine Zidane is still in a job. I don't know how. So you've got to say, I think we mentioned it. We may have mentioned it and touched on it before. You've got to say Real Madrid is probably I think it was the draw for the last round. Real Madrid are the ones to possibly look at. Napoli, for all their I mean, they're still a long way back from Juventus, who obviously have been drawn already. But with a game in hand, they can, pull it back a little bit, but they still look pretty good. So, yeah, I'm thinking I'm drawing towards, shockingly, Real Madrid. But I mean, on their day and the players, they'll have any chance against us. So they're still a better team than us, no doubt about that. So we're home first again, a bit like the last round. Who do we get? We get Real Madrid. Honestly, well, obviously I can't see that, but I did say, well, it was all one of these. It's based on league position. I'd say I'd take Real Madrid, but let's be honest, they've still got Ronaldo. Let's have a look at their squad. Let's have a look at their senior squad. So who have they got? So we go scroll down. Navas and Casillas still in goal. Ramos is still there. Virgil van Dijk, Inigo Martinez. They've got Nzonzi. Still got Marcello. They've got Daley Blind. Carvajal still there. Alex Grimaldo is there. Tony Cruz. Modric, Casemiro, who's unhappy, wants a deal to reflect his ability, so money basically. Kovacic, Odegaard. I'm just trying to see if there's anyone remarkable. Bale, Martins, James Rodriguez, Cristiano Ronaldo, Karim Benzema, and obviously we know about Alexis Sanchez as well. So they have got a good team, and maybe it's just too many good players there that they're getting unhappy, and they can't keep them all happy. So it's an interesting situation, but we'll certainly give that a go. Bayern get Barcelona, and Man United left with Napoli. So some good ties in there. I mean, a lot of the big names have avoided each other, really. Bayern Barcelona obviously stands out. So what we'll do, we'll come back for the game in, a day's time now, against Desna. And then, as you can see there's 2 games in April. They're about a week apart. 6 days apart. So we'll at some point come back to them. We may have another league game, depending how the schedule goes after the split. We'll come back for that, but we'll jump into the Desna game and I'll be with you very shortly. and we're back with a game. So this is what we're going to go with today. So we're going to go with the all Brazilian front three here. I've just realised we may have too many foreign players out. We'll have to check that in a sec. We've got Rodrigo, Viseu and Paulinho up front. We've got Tankovsky, Richard Skin in the midfield. We've got Leo, and I don't really want to play Leo, but I think we're struggling with the other left backs. Mikitsky at right wing back. We've got Ischenko, Boldanikov, and Mikitsky comes back in, and Shevchenko. We don't need to rest too much because the Champions League isn't for a few weeks, but there's a few of these players here I think need some game time. We need to get some sharpness and some general condition up. And I thought we were in the game here. I was just literally setting up the team and thought I was further ahead than I was, so we're going to have to wait a second. So I said wait a second. Obviously with this laptop, that's a complete and utter lie. We're still going for this unbeaten season in the league this year. We've had the one draw out of the 21 games. So you look at the league table there, and Desna Chernihiv are 10 points behind, but their win ratio seems so much lower. So it just feels like they should be further behind. And it felt like last year. I actually had a comment on one of the videos. I'm not going to mention any names. Ed, about being a bit negative about our league position. Perhaps I was in that video. That was a few videos back now. But it does just feel like they were better last year and further away compared to this season, where we've just felt like a perhaps less efficient team, but been getting better results and obviously going unbeaten for a lot longer and a bit more consistent. It feels like we should be more than the 10 points that we are. Not to take away and say a 10-point lead isn't anything to be happy about. Of course it is in a quarter-final in the Champions League. But I mean, that league position is kind of a given, as Rakitsky within a minute gives us the lead in this game. But we'll move on from all that league table stuff. I mean, this is ours to throw away now, and I'll be trying to make sure that don't. Obviously, Champions League could be a bit of a distraction. Hopefully not too much. But, you know, I don't know if Dynamo Kiev are still in there. I think they're in the Europa League, were in the Europa League, or are in the Europa League. I'll have to have a look at that and see how they're doing. I do want them to do really well in that, because obviously we need to keep the coefficient, I've touched on it before, in this league up, just to keep, when we win the league, to make sure we're staying in with an automatic qualification for the group stage. We don't want to be going to, you know, in some qualifiers which can throw up some really tough games. As we finally do get a highlight here after another highlight after half an hour, and it is theirs, but we do manage to clear it. Can we nick it back off them again? We do, and we give it away again. Paulinho, can he look to the right? You know, he goes left, but can we get the back post? Paulinho, there he is. That all we had to do was get that ball to that right hand side, and we were just overloaded over that side. As you can see in the build up here, we've got Paulinho there. We've got a player. I don't know who that is running at the back stick, but Paulinho's in there as well. We plenty of men in the box. I mean, just completely overrunning them there. So there's another highlight. It looks like we may be starting to possibly run away with this game a little bit now, but they do nick it back. But we get it back again. It's very messy in the middle of the park at the moment. Viseu's through, doesn't quite manage to get his goal. I'd be surprised if he doesn't come out of this game with a goal today. He seems to score every time he plays. Certainly in this free system. But you can see they're very narrow in the middle of the park, and that's letting our wing backs just cause havoc. I mean, they are obviously outnumbering us in the middle of the park, but it's not really hurting us. They haven't really got the quality to really trouble us. But our wing backs are just causing all sorts of, you know, havoc at their defence. That's where that overload come from on that second goal. Actually, it was the wing back. In fact, it was the cross from the left wing back, and the right wing back nearly got on the end of it. I mean, it's very reminiscent of, you know, Roberto Carlos and Cafu of Brazil. I mean, I remember a Brazil game, was it 2002-ish, around that World Cup? They had a right back. It's the guy who played, was it Cicinho? He got caught offside about 3 times in a match. The right back, but very attacking from the wing back position. They do provide our width. I am rambling on a bit here, but that's purely because there's nothing happening in the game. We are just sort of trundling across to a 2-0 win. Now, I know there's a lot of people would be quite happy to be in that situation playing this game, but when you're recording a video, you need stuff to be happening. We're going to change we may as well bring him forward a bit. Advanced playmaker on support. And anyone else we need to give some time to, we'll give Leo a break because he may well play in the upcoming games. And we've actually only got one yellow card in this game. That's remarkable. But the last highlight plays out here. There's that second yellow card. We couldn't go a whole game with only one yellow card. That would just be very much unlike us. We have to win the yellow card battle. They only got one. So a good win to end off the regular season, if you like. I guess that's how you'd describe it, I guess. We take over the team talk there because I didn't trust the assistant. So, how did Kiev do? Are they keeping the pressure on? Oh, I was just going by the league table. They drew 0-0 against 10 men Alexandra, who aren't doing great this season. They're in the bottom 3 places. That's a really disappointing result on their part, but it does open up that, 12 point lead now? 12 point lead. I mean, that's starting to grow quite vast when we've got... Let's see, how has it broken up the league? I imagine it has broken up the fixtures now. Yep, there we go. So we've got 2 league games before we play Real Madrid for the first time. We'll play one of those certainly, and then we'll come back for Real Madrid further down. We've got Dynamo Kiev in between Real Madrid, which is not perfect. It's not great. We've played Zerka this season. I think we've played them both on live comms this season. Well, I'll just come back for one of them. Maybe Zerka, just because they're next, and it gives me a time to sort of think about the Champions League game a bit more. So until next time, I'll see you later.